So if you want to be successful in your business and in your life, you have to be true to yourself and you have to pursue your dreams, right, Frankie Lee? He knows best. I love having a pet, Frankie Lee, because being an entrepreneur, it can get a little bit scary, a little bit rocky, and pets are the gateway to our success. And I love this next guest talking about the formula. Not only is she an inspiring woman, a woman on a mission with a purpose, but also a woman being a pioneer in the world of holistic care for pets. And I love her mission, I love her purpose, and I love her book that has just come out. So you're going to be learning about that on La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living. So stay tuned.
Frankie Lee, dimmi, quale senso della vita?
The meaning of life is to live la dolce vita, which is the formula for fabulous living.
Hi, my name is Heather Picken, and welcome to the La Dolce Vita Show, the formula for fabulous living. I'm the catalyst in helping you to be more confident, create your dream business, and attract elite clients and live a fabulous life. Here's Heather helping you to upgrade your life to
Fabulous. Upgrade your life to fabulous. Right, Frankie? You're fabulous.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living. And today we've got an extraordinary guest, talking about the formula for fabulous holistic healthcare for pets and her success, her journey, being a veterinarian. I'm just so inspired, having women entrepreneurs all over the world sharing their formula. And, also sharing the formula, how pets can really be just that emotional support for us, especially, when we work hard, we've had that hard day. This is my go-to. Those people that are watching this on the video, this is Mr. Frankie Lee, AKA Inspirational Chi. So Dr. Vargas, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Thank you, Heather, for having me. It's a great pleasure to be with you. I'm Frankie Lee.
Absolutely. And before we begin, I always like to ask my guest a little bit about yourself and, your journey. So I know you have a new book out, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you could just share a little bit about you and your work and how you help these wonderful furballs.
Well, absolutely. My journey started at 7 years of age when I decided I wanted to be a veterinarian. And the funny thing, Heather, is like so many people that achieve success, it was a single-minded, thought, this is it. There's no plan B, there's plan A. So success must happen because I didn't have any plans. So, and it doesn't sound that remarkable, but I am the first one in my family to graduate from college. And I have 53 first cousins. So that's a large family.
Wow.
So, first one to graduate from, I shouldn't say for just college, there's about 5 more of my cousins that did, but postgraduate. And so coming from a very poor, area and where education wasn't, the example that I saw, I had to go through those barriers. And in my country, I'm from Puerto Rico, and there wasn't any veterinary school, so I had to come to the States to do it. So with no money and no plan B and just a one single-minded, obsession, I'm going to become a vet. And here I am, 23 years owning my own business and pretty successful by many standards. And just every moment is such a gift to be doing what I'm so passionate, and I really believe, Heather, that I was born to do just this. Plan A, that's it. No plan B.
I love it. That's something that I love when I'm working with entrepreneurs is that You have to be inspired with your vision. Your inspiration is the catalyst for you to take that mission out there and do amazing things and make an impact in the world. Like you have your book, you have your practice, and really being clear on your mission. And I want to talk about that because to me, it's all about dissecting, the formula for fabulous living as an entrepreneur. So, what are some of the challenges that you ran into just really kind of creating this vision for yourself?
Well, originally, obviously, the common barriers of financially and different country, different language, going to, doctor school, veterinary school, not knowing much English, but I did model through that and got through it and passing national board. So there's a lot of, to the road to success, there's little hurdles, and some are taller and some are smaller, but it is just, again, what you said, just that dedication to your goal. You have your ultimate goal, and again, just keep going through it. One of the challenges, for example, veterinary medicine 23 years ago was quite different than what it is right now, mostly men. So I'll tell you a really quick anecdote. I moved here to Winter Haven, Florida, which is a beautiful, quaint town. I love it. This is my town, even though I'm not from here, but I've been here 21 years. But when I came in, there were no women owning any veterinary practices. There were only 5 practices in town. And here I come straight from living in Miami and practicing there. I just loved the town, sat in, and this is the town. I felt it. That's another thing, trust your gut instinct. I trust this was the place that I wanted to be in and actually open my practice. And so I said, well, if I'm going to be here, I'm going to meet at the Veterinary Medical Association. So the first meeting, I found out where the meeting was, and I go in there, and I'm the only woman. And this is all men, like the good old man, system network. And I'm just going there, and I just sat there, like just like you, like, hey, how are you? I'm Dr. Vargas, and introducing myself. And I sat at the end of the meeting. I mean, I kept feeling, when people are looking at you, I kept feeling this, like, people staring at me. I don't know why, because I'm the only woman. And so at the end of the meeting, there goes this doctor and comes and says, I got to say, Dr. Vargas, you're very brave to show up here, when there's no other women. And I said to him, and I said to him, well, I'm just checking the lay of the land, and one of these days I'm going to be the president of this association. And he's just like, I laughed. And 5 years later, I was the first woman president of the association.
I love that story. Yes. And I love those situations. I love hearing those things because it's those people that challenge us in our life. It's how we grow the most. We grow the most on the brink of support and challenge. And so that person, that doctor that had so prideful and boastful, who do you think you are? You're like, yes. I will show him. And I just love that. I really want women to listen to this. Women entrepreneurs, or just women in general. If you're faced with a challenge, don't back down. Own your power. Own your greatness, and you're a perfect example showing women on how to do that. That is a great story. Thank you.
I'm not good at backing down from any challenge. That's the problem. It's like, so there hasn't been any? Okay, then let's fix that.
I love that. Let's talk about mindset, because you were so focused in saying, I'm going to become that. So was it his words that just kind of said, watch me, I'll do it? Or did you just have a vision when you got into that meeting that, you know what, I'm going to be president? Like, what was your thought process?
A little bit of both. I didn't like the condescending attitude. And it's like, who are you, little lady? And that I got a lot of flack, for a while, because I would just show up to the meetings. But I just saw that it was an unfair situation. Here it is, a Veterinary Medical Association, and there were other women veterinarians. They were totally not involved. They felt intimidated. And I just felt, outraged. It's like, what? We need to stand up. So I called a couple of them, and that's why The first time I found another veterinarian, longtime veterinarian, woman veterinarian here. And I just talked to her and I said, we need to take this over from this, these people. And together, like I said, we co-director, she did 1 year, I did 1 year, and we did that and opened it. And after us, there's been another women president. But we've seen more women come into the meetings.
I love it.
Because the profession has changed. My profession is very, I guess it's the widest profession. There's not a lot of minorities in it, but not a lot of diversity. But women, when it comes to gender, it went from a male profession to a mixed profession when I was practicing, and nowadays it's 90% female. So I mean, not only me, but this same attitude multiplied by thousands of people, and we really changed the face of the profession. And I hate to see it, and male bashing or anything. I don't mean to do that, but I feel like women are nurturing spirit. We're mothers. Even if we don't have kids, our dogs or pets, we take down motherly nurturing role so well. And of course, STEM is one of the concerns for kids, for girls. They're not getting into science enough, or they're not aspiring to higher positions in science. So that's one of the things that, wherever there's anything for empowering girls and women, because those girls will hopefully become strong women that will carry our movement farther. That's when I'm involved. There's no thought process. It's like, oh, I see it, then I jump into it.
I love it. So, really breaking down the formula is you're taking action. You're not backing down, being true to yourself. And, I really think it's interesting as we're growing in our society today that there is, that this corporate culture that is just kind of dying out, being too patriarchal, so we need the balance of both in order to create transformation in the world. And I love how you were a leader, you saw yourself going, I'm going to do that. And collaborating with other women to join forces. And that really creates transformation in the world. So I just think that's a great story. You're a true inspiration for women out there that say, if you have a dream, you can do it. You've got to put your sweat equity into it. You've got to align your mind to your vision. And
then things magically happen sometimes, Heather, because, if you think about it, all the little things that had to happen, for example, to open my business, I had to have 2 really terrible first jobs, because if it was comfortable, then I would have probably stayed there. But I never set up to own my business. It was obtain the veterinary medicine and heal animals. That's my passion. That's my goal. But then, I had to have those bad jobs, and I had to go through that and said, okay, this is not what I want. So clarity of purpose, this is not what I want. I do not want to be working under somebody that do not share my vision or the way I want to treat the animals. So then I decided to just take the step and form, okay, if this is what I want to do, then let me create my own practice. And that's what I did. And sometimes entrepreneur, we do have that spirit that is like, you have to be bold and brave sometimes. But sometimes you're not set up with it. It's just the circumstances. You can either take it and just live with it, or from that challenge or from that disappointment or from that hurdle, then you just more clarity of purpose, draw another thing, go into the drawing board and get something else done.
It's so true. Yeah, it's so true how it just kind of evolved for you, and you step into this leadership role. And then also, talking about, the changing times of how medicine has evolved, and how I know for me personally, I've never liked the traditional role of Western medicine. I've always looked to explore different avenues. And I know your book talks about, a different approach. You're kind of like the trailblazer, introducing this concept of holistic medicine, alternative things for pets. So Before we talk about the book, one of the things that I want to ask you is, do you feel like we're more accepted of these types of practices? You know, I mean, I know there's a big controversy when it comes to humans, but in pets, and do you feel the ridicule and persecution of other medical, traditionally trained doctors, you know, say, who are you to do that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, well you know about what you're talking about, because it is true. When I first started studying this, it was from my own pets. You know, I have this German Shepherd. I love German Shepherds, and I have pugs too. But my German Shepherd was having severe pain and with arthritis and degenerative joint disease, which is a common condition of older dogs. But this breed, German Shepherd, is really bad. So I exhausted all the Western medicine, you know, any options that I had that I've studied in vet school. So I started looking, you know, away from all the stuff that they teach you, the mechanistic approach. And I started doing nutrition, and I started doing swimming with my dog. And this dog lived to be 16, beautiful life. Pain was completely controlled using nutraceuticals, glucosamine injections, massage. And then I saw that I could do that. You know, I didn't have to rely on pills that were killing his liver. That's why I couldn't do it anymore. So I was forced again. These episodes in your life where there's challenges, they force you to look and expand your vision and your perspective. And that's what I did. And I looked into traditional Chinese veterinary medicine. Chinese medicine has been out for over 5,000 years, allopathic medicine a couple of hundred years. So we have 5,000 years of anecdotal and books and everything that's been written on it, and people are not paying attention. Why? Because you can make a lot of money out of it technically, you know, as much as you can do selling pills, and one pill for everybody. Hey, one pill for everybody, and you don't have to think. Well, of course, you know, Chinese medicine, veterinary medicine, and alternative medicine modalities, they rely more on the pet as an individual. This pet, your Frankie Lee, is not the same as my Poquito. They're two different breeds. They're probably two different personalities. They're two different environments. Here in Florida, hot environment. You know, so all these fiery dogs, the happy, lucky dogs, they have a fire personality in a very hot environment. If you give them, for example, dry food, that's hot too. So, I mean, no allopathic or Western practitioner ever will look at what they eat. I mean, unless it's something they prescribe. Oh yeah, let's give them that. But they don't look at how environment and food and the personality could all melt together and produce disease. And that approach of holistic, looking at everything, I love it. I think is the way to go. I think integrative medicine, there's good stuff in Western medicine, and we can use it, especially in acute disease. If something acute, sure, you can use more options like that, but it's in the chronic disease management that alternative medicine is the best option. It's more natural, and it's not going to have the side effects, and you're not going to attempt to cure one thing and kill 7 other functions of your body in the process of doing that. So, you know, I think, again, for us and for our pets, it is definitely other options out there. And I just wanted to raise the awareness about that. And like I said, Heather, when I get into something, I don't go halfway. I just go the whole way.
I love it. And that's the only way to do it. And I really appreciate this conversation, because I'm definitely a proponent of doing something that's holistic, really looking at the whole picture, just like I would go to a chiropractor first before I would go to a medical doctor, because I want to treat the root cause. And now, like with humans, you know, we have been learning more through epigenetics of how emotions tag our physiology. And we could just learn a lot if we just take a step back and look at people like you that are being the pioneers and are the faces and the voices of this new vision, and really embrace it. And there's a place for both. Like you said, there's a place for both. So I really appreciate that. And your book, it's inspiring because everyone that has a pet can read this book, dogs and cats, I would imagine, and learn some wisdom and some alternative treatments.
And I imagine I'm going to get a lot of flack from my colleagues because a lot of the stuff that I say in there might go completely against the grain. And one of the things is like vaccinations, I believe there's a place for it when they're puppies. And I believe depending on the lifestyle of the pet, they might need some vaccinations. But by and large, once they're over a year and a half or something, I just put them on every 3 years, or even just titers. So vaccines to me are not that important past the year of age, more important for me is checking the blood work, making sure you get a very thorough physical exam, taking care of the teeth. To me, those are things that are prevention medicine, to me are much important than the vaccines at one point of time, depending on the timing and everything. And I have a lot of stuff on how to massage, how to do acupressure. And these are things that people can do at home. And again, I want to empower the pet owner. There's some stuff that you can try at home first. And like you said, try it first, change the diet. I give you enough information there for you to have a really good idea of what you're doing with your pet, if it's the right amount, right food or types of foods. All foods are different. They have different energies. So there's a lot of concepts. And there's a concept in there you were touching on, and that how the emotion affects the animals. Well, I have a whole section there that I can imagine some of my colleagues going up after me because it's energetics. And it's all about energy. We're energy, and in pets, they may not manifest the emotions like you can ask your clients, how they're feeling and everything. But the pets tell you how they feel. You just have to tune a little bit different. But they pick up also our emotions. So like you said, entrepreneurs, we rely on our pets to be that stress reliever, but they also pick up our stress.
Oh, yes.
So because when they are so bonded to us, we have this invisible bond, this energetic bond. And that's where I see even disease transmission. People with heart disease, the dog has heart disease. People with thyroid, the dog has thyroid. And, these are things, experiential knowledge. This is my practice, 23 years doing this. And what I've seen, and it's full of stories that are going to make you go, But I really think that people are going to enjoy it. And at least I just want them to give it a chance. Don't outright discard it. 5,000 years of knowledge that has been accumulated. Just give it a chance. And like I said, just see if there's somebody out there. Of course, I can't see everybody, but they can look out to a holistic practitioner near them and just try to ask the right questions, and let's see if we can help their pets.
I love that. It just really encouraging people to be open-minded. Just like being an entrepreneur, you have to be open to new ideas because let's face it, we're going to Mars and we're going to the stars. It's only a matter of time. It might be billions of years until we tap into this whole other universe that is out there. But it's really like people like you that have a vision, mission, and purpose, and that are creating transformation. And you're doing that in the form of holistic healthcare and pets. And I love that. And just having, I know for me, being an entrepreneur, when I am stressed out, my little Frankie Lee, it's just a great way to take a break. And I know there's been studies having pets, you live longer, healthier, and happier lives.
Yeah, and they do so much for us. Like I said, they're vessels of pure love. They're unconditional fans. Whether you're having a bad day or a good day, you look good, your hair's bad, you have a bad day, anything like that, the dog is still there, or your cat or whatever pet is still there, and you are the best thing, better than sliced bread, for them. So if they are so good to us, that's what I'm saying. Can we not just put a little effort into looking at alternatives and seeing how we can extend their life? How can we do the things that we need to do as prevention medicine to make sure that we have them with us the longest possible time ever. And sometimes those things are doing things that like food, like feeding, like massage. If you can, you always pet your pet. How about if I tell you there's special places that you can pet them where they're gonna benefit even more, just not your love and attention, but energetically you're charging them up, you're discharging this beautiful energy, healing energy in them. So that's all what it's all about,
I love that. I love that. And where can people learn about your book? If you could share the title and then the URL.
Well, I get it here, and that's Poquito. And he was here. He wanted to meet Frankie Lee, but then he saw his other brother and sister, and he just went crazy and left me here with his hair. That's all. But Poquito will be probably, it's in the cover of the book. The book is available in Amazon, and you just go Mitsie Vargas or Altvet is the name, and is the subtitle is Revolutionary Pet Care and Longevity Solution, because I really want to, there is a solution, there's an option, a solution to your problem, to how can I make it so that my pet lives the longest time with me. So if you follow some of the advice in that book, hopefully you will achieve that. And Barnes & Noble is carrying it, and so it's easy to find. Most bookstores, will find it. And it just came out yesterday, Heather. So you're the first interview. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. And for those people that are watching or listening, the link is in the show notes. So go ahead and support Dr. Vargas with her mission and purpose. And if you've got a pet, you definitely want to pick up a copy of this book, because I know for myself, I want Frankie Lee living to, 200 years in dog life, or dog years,
yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yes.
as long as he can, I'm going to stretch out his lifespan.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey. I just think it's exciting for, hearing what your story is about and your book. I encourage everyone to get that. And again, everyone can go to the link in the show notes, grab your book. And thank you so much for being my guest today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. And Frankie Lee, say bye to Frankie Lee from me.
I will. He had to go, for those that are watching this video. But I want to close out this show in just really sharing, what this is all about. You are here to live your mission, purpose, and vision, and live what I call your La Dolce Vita life, which is the formula for fabulous living. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. So if you found this show to be fabulous, please share with your fabulous friends, rate, review, and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. And I'll make sure I take a beatbox lesson, right? Or give my little Chihuahua a bone. That's me. Fabulous.